Good morning, everyone. All right, we are going to be doing a long 6-mile walk today. And as an added bonus for all of you, we're going to be including a street festival that should be taking place down in Park Slope. Right now I am on 95th Street and we are about to get on to 5th Avenue. And we're going to walk the entire distance of 5th Avenue. We're going to go from 95th Street all the way down to the Barclays Center over on Atlantic Avenue. And like I said, there is a street festival taking place in Park Slope. It's the yearly fabulous 5th Street Festival that runs about a mile from, I guess in this direction, we're going to be walking towards the lower numbers. So eventually we'll run into it. I think it starts on that end at around 5th Street. Yeah, she's picnicking at the right spot. She's got an unlimited supply of water if she needs it right there. Right on the with the fire hydrant. By the way, here is St. Patrick's. And it is a Sunday, so people are going to church. And there is the 4th Avenue, 5th Avenue split sign. This is where 5th Avenue begins. Here goes the subway station. Interesting little fact, I am going probably to be taking that train, the R train, which runs underneath 4th Avenue over there. I might take that train all the way back to this spot when I get to the other end. So you probably saw the temperature. It is 80 degrees today. Well, it's 80 degrees at 10 a.m. And it is going up to 86 today. 86 degrees. This will be a long walk. This is a 6-mile walk, so you guys have tagged along with me on some 6-mile walks of recent times, so you know the drill. I'll give you guys some mile markers when we get to when we hit the mile markers. I'll let you know. The neighborhoods we are walking: Bay Ridge, Sunset Park, and Park Slope. And yes, there is a little nested area over by the cemetery. The north side of the cemetery is a neighborhood that they call South Slope. But I just say, when I get over there, I just say we're in Park Slope. This is engine 242 Firehouse. So this is the first walk in a while that I'm doing where it's going to be going to be quite warm. So I got the light. It looks like they finally took the construction boards down on this part of the school. This school is PS 104. It's been getting a lot of renovations over the years. So there's always something going on. Oh, look at that. They have a mascot. You know what? I just realized we're going to be passing by Pizza Wagon, so maybe I should get on that side. Yeah, let's get over there. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stay here for a little bit because I noticed, you know, I want to reduce the amount of time I'm gonna be in the sun. So I'm gonna be walking for a while, and then when we get down to the street festival, we're gonna slow down a little bit. So. Normally when I do the street festival walks, I just do the street festival. We're going to change it up today. I haven't done a long walk in a little while. And also, I haven't done commentary for a while. And by the way, I want to just say, I got some, you know, nice comments and everything like that and emails. But man, I also got some really strange emails and comments. But I just want to say that if you're new to the channel, this is something that I do regularly. Sometimes I'll do a week of no commentary. My channel, when I started my channel there was no commentary for like a year. You know, the first year of the channel, there was no commentary. So it's not out of the ordinary, but you know, I do get it. You get some people that follow the channel in, you know, recent. So they come in and they hear me talking all the time, and then one day, boom, I stop talking. They're like, oh, what's going on? But I'll go over a couple of the strange emails I got about it. And one comment that I deleted it because I was like, you know, I mean, I don't need, you know, that's how rumors start. Somebody had commented that I had laryngitis and that's why I wasn't talking, which is, as you can see, is not true. But I had an email. Somebody thought I swear, somebody thought I died. Somebody wrote this really bizarre email about, they're probably trolling anyway, but you never know with people. You never know when people are serious or they're crazy or whatever, but this person was convinced that I died and that somebody else was continuing my channel. As Mark Twain once said, rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I am still here. And then, of course, I got some nice comments that I think I got one I responded to and let that person know that this is normal. I tend to go back and forth. Here goes Pizza Wagon. The one pizza place from my childhood that I still go to. The only one left from my childhood that I still go to. That and Crispy Pizza on 13th Avenue in my neighborhood in Tiger Heights. That is my main pizza place. But when I'm in Bay Ridge, I go to Pizza Wagon. But I'll say this one last thing about commentary, and then I'll get off the subject. But everyone knows once the summer comes and I start doing the rain walks, and I start doing the thunderstorm walks and all that, I don't generally talk on those. Last year I changed it up. I did some commentary on some of the storms. I will not do that this year. I think I had said last year that was the one exception I was going to make, was I was going to do commentary on storms last year. So we will, if we have any good storms this year, I will not be speaking over those. Now, here's the other thing. All right, so I'm sorry. I have to stay on the subject just a little bit because I wanted to bring something up. I just remembered it. There's actually a flip side to this commentary thing. So if we had any new subscribers this week, and they've only seen the last 5 walks I've done where I've not talked, this is a shock for them. They may be those type of people that don't want to hear me talk. You know, like, whoa, what's going on? All of a sudden, this guy's talking. What's going on here? That's it. I'm done, though. All right? All right, so we've made it to 83rd Street. We started on 95th. We're going to be walking for a while. Okay, we're going from 95th all the way down to 1st Street. But even when we get to 1st Street, then we go through the name streets. In case I didn't mention it already, it is a Sunday in the morning. So if you notice that, a lot of stores are closed and there's not a lot of people on the street, that's the reason. The street festival officially starts at 10 a.m., which is when we started walking. So by the time we get down there, it's going to be, I'd say probably be around 11 o'clock. That'll be a good time. There'll be people out and about. Let's get back on the shade. We're gonna be going back and forth on this walk. So until we get to the street festival, we'll stay in the middle of the. We'll be in the road when we get down there. It's all closed off down there. But the other reason that I crossed the street was because I wanted to give you guys a nice big look at Skinflint's on the corner of 79th and 5th. They got their big flag draped over the building. Great place to eat and drink. If you guys have never tried it, I highly recommend it. It's one of the few places that I'll say highly recommend it. I'll tell you guys every once in a while to go check out a place, but that's a place I'll say highly recommend trying that. You can look them up on the internet, look at their menu. They have really good little slider burgers. Got the local street cleaners are out. By the way, well, I'll tell you in a moment. So I'm looking at my tracker here. There was a Bay Ridge Pizza across the street. All right, we just passed 77th Street and we just hit our first mile. We just hit our first mile. We're at mile 1. We got 5 more to go. Like 20th Avenue in Bensonhurst, 5th Avenue does have a good amount of laundromats. I'll tell you what else Fifth Avenue has. A little off, a little off base information, but Fifth Avenue has a lot of public bathrooms. I'm not talking about bathrooms that you can walk into these restaurants and go, you know, go to the bathroom. I'm talking about public bathrooms. Where we started, there was right where I started the walk, there was a park over there. It had a public bathroom. There's a public bathroom in Sunset Park that we're going to be walking right past. There's a couple of public bathrooms at the Greenwood Cemetery entrances. And there's another public bathroom at another park over there. I think it's called Washington Park. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But it's down in Park Slope that we're going to walk by. So if you're a person that likes to hike and walk through the city streets and you're afraid you got to go to the bathroom, so you want to do Fifth Avenue. I don't think anybody else is going to give you that information. So, useless information to some, very useful information to others. I will say I have never in my life in New York City, I've had many people come up to me and say, hey, where's this street? Where's this bank? Where's this train station? Where's the nearest Chase ATM? I've had a lot of those questions, but I've never had anybody stop me and say, hey, where's the nearest public bathroom? So. Oh, that's a big sign right there. Look at that. I was a little tempted to walk under those ladders. The reason I didn't do it had nothing to do with bad luck. It had to do with I don't want something falling on me, right? Which I guess would be bad luck. I guess we'll stay on this side. We are coming up on the... You know what? Let's do this. Go on to this side. I was going to say the movie theater is coming up. Alpine is for those of you that might be wondering, Alpine is still in business. One of the very few remaining movie theaters in Brooklyn. Walking by another laundry place. It seems as if like every time we walk close to or by a laundry place, we've been behind the person, like this one with all their laundry coming out. It smells good too. It smells like fabric softener. For those of you following along on a map, it's really easy. We're on 5th Avenue in Bay Ridge, started at 95th Street, and we're going all the way to the end until we hit the Barclays Center. Okay, so there goes the Alpine. And I will give you the movie list. Mortal Kombat, Michael, Don't Speak English, The Sheep Detectives, Obsession. I gotta see Obsession. I heard it's really good. Holcomb Animal Farm? I don't know what that is. Mario 2. Devil Wears Prada, and that's it. I didn't get the rest of them. So 2 movies that I want to see. One movie that I'm going to see the day it opens. And for those of you, a lot of you are not going to know. But for those of you that are into internet lore, you know the movie I'm talking about. Backrooms. I am going to be... It's one of the very few movies in my life that I am going to go on the first day it opens. Now, I can't really explain it. If you either know Backrooms or you don't know Backrooms, I can't really explain it. It's not something that can be explained. Best advice I give you, go on YouTube. I would first search what is Backrooms and then watch the Backrooms, for those of you that don't, because you're kind of like, be like, what is going on? But they made a movie about it. I can't wait to see it. And then I want to see, of course, I want to see that Obsession movie because the trailers look really good. I am a rare moviegoer because I only go to see what I think are good movies. The backroom movie is probably going to be only good for, I guess, people that know Backrooms, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what the general audience. I'm sure the general audience is going to go. We'll see what their reception is like. So. I forgot one bathroom, guys. One public bathroom right there. Right over there. That little red house inside the Leif Erikson Park. This is the Leif Erikson Greenway. That's a public bathroom right there. I knew I forgot one. I was saying Sunset Park, and I was like, I feel like I forgot one. So, tons of public bathrooms on this route. Tons and tons of useless information on this walk. you gotta beat the trolls to their game. I guarantee you someone, if I just go around talking about public bathrooms, they're gonna say, what the F is this guy talking about? So, listen, nobody is more critical about me than me. So, trust me, I know I say stupid things sometimes and give out useless information, but it is what it is. That right there is the Gowanus overpass, and that only means one thing. That means that we are crossing past, well, we're crossing into the Sunset Park neighborhood. We're also crossing over the 65th Street area. They're doing a lot of construction down here. But we are now officially in Sunset Park. So the first neighborhood is down, and now we're in the second neighborhood. For those of you that are new, that don't know, I always bring it up. I grew up in Sunset Park. I started my life in Sunset Park. I lived on 42nd Street between 7th and 8th Avenue, and also on 8th Avenue is where I lived, but my grandmother was on, 42nd Street, just a half a block up from me. So, as a kid, you're always at your grandmother's house. The park was right down the block. Sunset Park. And I went to PS 169 over on 7th Avenue. I don't know if you guys noticed, the girl on my left was gonna walk right into me. I might be walking a little faster than I normally do at times, and that's because when we get down to the street festival, I'm gonna slow down. Oof, that was close. See that, guys? You almost hit the girl, the lady. These e-bikes, they come flying in and out of every direction. You just never know where they're, and they're so quiet. So, like, she had no idea. I think if you roll back and look at that, I don't even think she knew he was coming. Like, she didn't move or anything. He was the one that slowed down. Obviously, he saw that he was about to hit somebody, but. We're about to get over 60th Street. That right there on the corner is a big grand church by the name of, for short, we call it OLPH, but it is the actual full name is Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And you can see a lot of people going to church. I mean, it is a very beautiful church. I mean, look at the entrance. It's just really nice. It's got 2 levels. The lower level that you see there on the sidewalk, I believe that's where they do the Spanish masses. believe the English Masters are where everybody's walking into right now. Just to show you how big that church is, I'll show you one more time. St. Francis Cabrini, you know the small church in my neighborhood over on Bay 11th and 86th Street? When you walk into that bottom church here at OLPH, it's like the same size. It's like kind of like that. That's how big that church is. It's got like basically 2 churches in one church. We're going to see a lot more people out now. Sunset Park usually has a lot of foot traffic. By the way, we just hit 1 mile, no, 2 miles. I got that wrong, 2 miles. We already did a mile. We hit a mile back on 77th Street. So this is, we hit 2 miles at 59th Street. I forgot to mention it. So we are 2 miles in now. All right, we're going a little bit, got a little bit of a downhill here. And I am about to get back across the street. It's getting warm, guys. I don't remember what I said at the beginning of this walk. I think I had said it was like 80 degrees. Well, I'll tell you what, it's either it's 80 degrees or my body is 100 degrees. Is the pace that I'm making, I am warm. If you guys remember early in the year, I do my no water training every late winter, early spring, where I will purposely walk long distances without bringing water. And this is one of those days where it pays off. Like, I will be totally fine not having a sip of water. And in case you guys are wondering why I do that, I do take water with me. Once, when the summer starts and it gets hot, I do take water with me. I don't, you got to hydrate. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. You should always hydrate. But for me personally, the reason why I don't like to drink a lot of water if I don't need to is because of the obvious thing we were talking about earlier, bathroom, right? If I drink a lot of water while I'm walking, I got to stop somewhere to go to the bathroom. So. And me being ex-military, we used to go on long hikes, training hikes. We would just go 10, 15 miles, 20 miles without water. They would make us go out into the wild and do our survival training, and there was no water. They would give you an empty canteen and they would drop you off somewhere in the hills or the mountains, and you had to find you had to find water. They used to do that. I'm sure they still do that. So if I really needed water, I could just go into any store here with my money and just buy a bottle of water. So it's not exactly survival of the fittest out here right now. Somebody's playing some music. Looks like that vendor stand over there. When we get into the street festival, you're gonna see you're gonna see a lot of vendors. There's a lot of food and a lot of, stuff. We will stop at my favorite vendor all the time. I like to stop at the vendor that has all the magnets with all the fruits and vegetables. I always got to stop at that one. Here goes McDonald's. There's also a Burger King over here. I don't know if we passed it already. There is a Taco Bell across the street. There's a Popeye somewhere over here. Right now we're walking by D2. There goes Rainbow. It's one of the last remaining Rainbow that is around. The one in my neighborhood finally closed. The one on 86th Street, if I remember correctly, is now closed down. All right, we've made it to 50th Street. That was the Popeyes I was talking about. They still have a lot of the old stores that we used to have on 86th Street, They have VIM is coming up. We used to have a VIM on the corner of 20th Avenue where the old PC Rich's used to be. I'll tell you what, between walking through the Sunset Park area and the street festival, there is a lot of food that you could buy along this route. I was talking about water before. You won't go hungry on this route. There's the VIM I was telling you about.
Voy a chequear. Ahí.
I am walking a really good clip right now. It's going to be hard to slow down when we get down to the festival. Man, if I could only tell you the smell of all the different foods that I'm walking by, I mean, it's it's amazing. Are we getting close to Sunset Park over here? That is the namesake of the neighborhood we are in, Sunset Park. I am going to cross the street so I could aim the camera over there. Just missed a light. I'm gonna stop here for a second. Actually, I'm gonna go. I had a little opening there. I didn't tell you guys this, but two of the highest points in Brooklyn, number 1 and number 2, we're going to be walking by them. In Sunset Park, and I'm going to show you when I point the camera, you'll see the height, is the second highest point in all of Brooklyn. Or is it Owl's Head Park? So I'll just give you guys the highest points in Brooklyn. And I always get Sunset Park and Owl's Head Park mixed up. But put it this way. Sunset Park comes in, I believe, over 140 feet. I'm going to wait for all this traffic. And there's a Range Rover here. All right, here we go. My neighborhood, Tiger Heights, is the 4th. That I know. We are the 4th highest point. Then you got, I believe it's Sunset Park and then Owl's Head Park. And this is Sunset Park. You can see, you obviously, so if you're looking up there, that's not even the highest point. You can't see the highest point because it goes up. So that's the first level. That's just the first level you're looking at right there. And this park goes all the way down to 7th Avenue. But you're just looking at the first level. And then when you get past that first level, there's another hill in there. And that's the tallest point in the park. I'll give you guys another look over there. You can see that first ridge, that first level up there. The highest point in Brooklyn is in Greenwood Cemetery. And I'll be able to show you guys, similar to this, that the highest point in Brooklyn comes in, I think, don't quote me, I'm not a walking encyclopedia, but I believe it comes in at 176 feet above sea level. I feel like I'm I feel like I'm under delivering on that one, but you guys will have to look it up. But it is what is a fact is that it is the tallest point in Brooklyn. Has a lot of history dating back. The Battle of Brooklyn during the Revolutionary War, the name of the hill is actually called Battle Hill. It was a very important strategic point. During the Battle of Brooklyn. Sorry, somebody was like walking right behind me. I was just making sure nothing odd was going on. But I was saying, the Battle of Brooklyn, the battle on Battle Hill lasted for days. And the revolutionaries would not give it up. And I think the battle went down to like 2 people. There were 2 people left on that hill that would not give up that hill. But they eventually lost the hill. That was one of the bigger unfortunate battles that Washington lost. You know, a lot of people don't know Washington lost a lot of battles before they, won the country. This happens to be the 250th year of the United States. But yeah, Battle Hill is a very, very historical spot inside the cemetery. When you go up there, when you go up to Battle Hill, when you go into the cemetery, they have a big... I haven't been there in a while, but I remember there's a big plaque over there. There's a big plaque that's dedicated to the area. So. And by the way, we just hit 3 miles at 39th Street. Hey, didn't we just walked up this, remember? We were just here a week ago. 1 week ago we were here, guys. Came up this way. This right here on both sides, on the right side mostly, is the big MTA headquarter depot down here. I say on both sides because on the left side here where I'm walking, they have trailers that they work out of. I have a family member that works here, works out of here, right on the left here. As a matter of fact, I think he works in that trailer right there. The little white door. Melody Lanes is still around. There's a bowling alley. I've never bowled here, in case anyone's wondering. So, you know what? I should just totally reveal something. I have never bowled, period. I have never bowled. I don't think bowling on Nintendo Wii counts. Does that count, guys? I don't think that counts, so. But yeah, I've never bowled. I had to center my camera, it wouldn't turn. So this right here is Greenwood Cemetery. That is a school building across the street. If you're ever in the area, if you guys are ever touring Brooklyn, I highly suggest you come to Greenwood Cemetery and walk around. Just be mindful, it is a cemetery. It's not a field day. So don't be walking around with cameras and stuff. Right here where we're walking, there's a tunnel that goes, it's in the cemetery, it goes underneath 5th Avenue here. And it leads up to 4th Avenue, and there's an entrance up there. Here's the tunnel. I was telling, well, you can't see the tunnel, but we're above it. We're walking over right now. So if you can come into the cemetery on 4th Avenue and like 34th Street, which is up that way. And by the way, that's where one of the public bathrooms is. And then the main entrance is coming up here. And it's beautiful in here. There's there is a big lake in here. A lot of walking. I mean, you want to talk about walking. Like I said, it's the tallest point in Brooklyn. There's a lot of hills in here. You could spend an entire day in the cemetery. They do have a tour bus that runs through here. They're in the cemetery. I believe they belong to the cemetery. It's not like an outside tour company. I believe it's part of the cemetery. Cemetery is very strict on how they regulate tourism here. Most of the people that live in the neighborhood stroll through, you know, with you'll see mothers with baby carriages and stuff like that. But there is a lot of some old tombstones in here. I believe one of the governors of New York is buried here. I believe the guy that created the catcher's mask, the first catcher's mask, is buried here, I believe. I know I have a photo of that tombstone, but I can't remember if that's what he's known for. I'm talking about baseball when I say catcher's mask. When you go to the tombstone, which is on the other side of the cemetery, closer to Battle Hill, it has like an old, like one of the first old like style catcher's masks from like when baseball first started. And you kind of look at that mask and you're like, man, how small it was. How much little protection that the catchers had back in those days. And a lot of people come and make the trip to leave signed baseballs and stuff like that, which is really nice. That says pizza over there. Well, we've been walking for 60 minutes. And we are starting to walk uphill now. We are starting to walk up the slope, guys. We are walking up the south slope. That was the neighborhood I was telling you guys about, by the way. It's like a kind of an in-between neighborhood over here they call South Slope. The main entrance to the cemetery is coming up, I believe. It is on 27th Street. This is 29th Street right here. A lot of green. See above me is just nothing but trees inside the cemetery, hence the name Greenwood Cemetery. You can kind of get an idea how big the cemetery is just when you walk on the 5th Avenue side. The other side is the Fort Hamilton Parkway side. So you can't walk straight into Park Slope if you take 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th Avenues. You have to go down to either what we just did, 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, or go down to Fort Hamilton Parkway, which is on the other side. The other side of this park is all the way down on Fort Hamilton Parkway. Well, this is 27th Street, so I made a mistake with the entrance. It's probably 25th Street. Don't worry, you guys will see it. We'll show you. A very nice historic cathedral-style gate entrance. And by the way, that's where another public bathroom is. Right past that bus stop is where the entrance is. Got a little greenhouse over there. There you go, guys. Looks like a church. So you're gonna cross over. Kind of give you guys an idea how high Battle Hill is. I don't even think you could see it until you get over on the next block. I don't even think you can really see it with all these trees and stuff. We'll see in a second. If I can see it, I'll turn the camera around for you. Actually, you know what? I just remembered it's more down on the 7th Avenue side. It's down there, guys. You can't see it. It's up there. Just remembered that. This part of the cemetery on 5th, 6th, and 7th Avenue kind of all looks the same because it does like a jagged, like jigsaw kind of route. So that's what threw me off. Well, you're down on 7th Avenue walking by the cemetery when it cuts up and you have to go up to 6th. That's where you see the hill. You see it over there on 7th Avenue. So when I do the 7th Avenue Street Festival next month, I'll keep that in mind and I'll show you then. We're getting close. We're in Park Slope, by the way. I'll just say we're in Park Slope. I'm not gonna say South Slope or anything like that. I didn't forget about mile 4. That is coming up. We're getting close to mile 4, probably another 4 or 5 blocks. And then mile 5 will be, I'm sure we'll be in the street festival at mile 5. So. And I think I said this earlier, the street festival on this end, I think starts at around, I'll be honest, I don't know. Like, it's a mile long. It's like the 7th Avenue one. Could be around 5th Street, I want to say. So. We're coming up on a very popular historic pizza place here on 21st Street. This is a really good pizza place. If you live in the neighborhood, I don't need to tell you, but if you don't, just try it out. What's really cool is that when you walk in there, it's closed because he's old school. On Sundays, it looks like he's closed, but he has an old cash register still in service, Luigi's, and well, you could just look it up. Look it up on the internet. Luigi's Pizza, 5th Avenue. You'll see all the pictures inside. He still uses that cash register, the old push-button cash register. All right, I am going to cross. I do need some shade. I'll say that much. I was going to cross. You know me. I hate walking under scaffolding, so I decided to wait one more block. Hey, could you imagine if there's no street festival today? I'm going to look like an idiot. It is scheduled, Fabulous 5th, Sunday, May 17th. All right, here we go. Let's get onto the shade side. And we walked all the way so far from 95th Street. No breaks, no water. Just walking. That's a good motto. I should put that on my banner. I was going to say Papa John's after that. That would have been great. Eh? No breaks, no water, Papa John's. Papa Stride, baby. I am a papa. Well, not officially. I don't have kids, but I'm up there in age. We've just hit 4 miles. That's the Prospect Expressway. Oh look guys, it's Lenny's Pizza. It is not the same Lenny's though from that used to be on 86th Street. I'll tell you that. Not the same one. So we've just hit mile 4 and we got 2 miles to go. We are walking the complete distance of 5th on this one. I want to thank anybody that is still watching. I know that when I do these long walks, people will watch these in parts. Which is totally fine because it counts on YouTube. YouTube keeps track on if you leave a video and come back later to watch the rest of it. So there's nothing wrong with that. All right, you know what, guys? There goes the street festival. I was just about to say we're going to get in the street, so there we are. So we're on 16th Street. So I was way off. I said 5th Street. So now we start the street festival part. This is just this right here is just a buffer zone. There's no street festival on this block. This is a buffer zone. That's just to make sure that nobody would drive through and hurt people. They keep a buffer zone for that. Anyway, I was saying, going back to that because I got sidetracked. For those of you that are still watching, thank you. And then, you know, people watch these in parts, and if you do come back, it will count it. So if this is like, say, a 2-hour walk and you watch 30 minutes and you come back and watch another 30 minutes and then another 30 minutes, it adds up. It remembers, you know. remembers where you are. You probably noticed that if you ever watch YouTube and you leave a video and you come back and like the play slider is at the point where you left. Oh, they got a 2-block buffer zone, guys. Look at this. So it officially starts. The street closure is back on 15th, but the actual festival starts on 13th Street over here. So I will say this right now, give a warning, if there's any like music being played or something, I'm gonna have to cut it out for copyright reasons. So it's very possible you guys will not, there's a possibility you will not see the full 6 miles of walking, but I would only be cutting out like 30 seconds, not even. So you're not going to miss much if that happens. All right, so here we are. I am going to slow down now. So now, like, my legs they're hurting a little bit because I'm so used to walking fast, and now I'm trying to slow down, and my legs are so tensed up from the fast walking we've been doing. I guess they're going to be doing some kind of dance-off or something over there. I don't know what's going on. Exercise. Looks like the side streets are opened, so you gotta watch when you cross. The street festival officially started at 10 a.m. It's getting close to lunchtime right now, so it'll get crowded as we go along. There'll be more things to see as we get further down. So, but as you can see, you got people are still kind of setting up. They want to be set up though pretty quick because we're getting on to lunchtime right now, so people are going to want to eat something. Let's take a look at some of these stands here. Got a Met fan. We have I showed him because we have a Subway Series going on here in New York. The Yankees and the Mets have split the first two of the games. Yankees won Friday night, and I believe the Mets won last night. It's always a case like that. I mean, it's always Yanks win one, Mets win one, and then on Sunday is the deciding game. So, for bragging rights, until they play again. I gotta check my all right, because we're walking slow now, I had to check how many miles we've done. There is a section with a lot of food, so don't worry. You're gonna see there's always that one block that has all the food on one block. But you can see, you know, there's some food starting to pop up more and more as we get further down. I got stopped. There's a red light, guys. I gotta wait. Let me get over here by the crosswalk. Oh, look. That's weird. There's two red lights, guys. There's one on one side, one on the other. It makes no sense.
Cool, babes.
I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea of how far down this goes. Let's see if I could get a clear view on the next corner. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you guys how far down this goes. This is a 1 mile. I'm going to stop right on the other side of these cop cars. And I'm going to zoom in and raise the camera a bit. Right here. I'm going to raise the camera, guys. You can kind of see there's a pretty big, so the two big, really big street festivals in Brooklyn are both the 5th Avenue in Park Slope and the 7th Avenue in Park Slope. The one that's going to happen 2 blocks down from here, that takes place, I believe, next month. It's always in June. So. And then also, you know, we walked through Bay Ridge. Bay Ridge has a street festival similar to this one, so that one is coming up. Not as big as this one. Oh, look at that. They have the police line right where people would walk through. I gotta go around the car here. All right, here we go. Turkey legs. I really slowed down, right, guys? Lefty Cigars is always here every year. They go to all of the street festivals. Yet these vendors are just setting up. Probably got here late. So even though the street festivals, they start at 10 a.m., the streets are closed off at like, they close the streets off by like, I think it's like 6 in the morning.
It's really good. Some of them are pretty good.
I was like, did you like practice the cheers?
Oh, here it is, guys. I think this is it. It's my favorite place. This is it. This is a place with all the magnets. Here we go. There might be more than one of these vendors, but trying to find an opening.
You want to hold them?
We got Oreo cookies. Excuse me. Here you go, guys. I got you the magnets. And yes, kids do try to eat those. This one in particular, okay, like when I was a kid, my mother had, like, you know, for the refrigerator, she had them all. And I almost choked on one. Because I'm just stupid, right? I'm a stupid kid. This is where, speaking of kids, this is where all the rides are. All the float mechanisms. A street festival would not be a street festival without a Lucy stand. Lucy is here. Lucy Spada. For those of you who don't know, actually she's sitting right over there, but I don't like to go over and just start talking to people. She lives in my neighborhood. We know each other, but I don't usually stop and talk. But she is also the one that does the big Christmas lighthouse. So, and behind the stands here is the park that I was telling you about. There's a park back here. All right, guys, we've made it to 3rd Street. Yes, we are walking slow. So it is taking a little longer than it normally would to finish a walk like this. By the time we're finished with this walk, we would have walked over 100 city blocks. We are going all the way down to Barclays. If you look over the tree line and you see those tall buildings down there, all the way out there, that's where we're going. The street festival doesn't go all the way to Atlantic. It will stop, I want to say, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where it stops. I don't want to make another mistake like I did earlier. I said this was going to start at 5th Street and it started on 13th Street. So I'll just keep my mouth shut on that one. See, it's gotten more crowded down here. More crowded on this end of the festival. Looks like you got photography going on over here. So far, no live music or music that I have to worry about getting copyright hit on. You hear some music right now, but there's no lyrics, so I should be fine. It's the lyrics that you get hit on, not the music. Unless someone's doing a cover. If someone's doing like a music cover with no words and you stay there and record the whole cover, you'll get hit on that. But generally, you won't get hit on music without lyrics for like a few seconds. Of course, there's the other obvious thing. As long as I'm talking over the music, it doesn't get hit.
Show me those muscles.
All right, guys, we have made it to Carroll Street, and that means we are on the last mile. We are on mile 5, so we have one more mile to go. This is just up from the Carroll Gardens area. I am actually purposely filming the people on the street now.
Yeah, I guess I don't need to on the street.
President Street. This is where my father grew up when his family came from Italy. They lived on President Street in this area. I believe this is this the food block? This is the food block. Makers Manifest Craft Market. This block will get extremely crowded later on, probably. Well, it's not entirely food, it's other stuff. I thought it was all food, because the first thing I saw was food. Skinny Earth, vegan food. Sorry guys, I'm a meat eater. There goes another Lucy's stand. See if I can get a view here and get around this car. So Lucy's got 3 stands up today. Give you guys a look at the sausages. Oh, look at all the onions. There you go. I'm coughing from all the smoke coming in. Onions and peppers. God, it smells so good. That is my go-to. Whenever I go to a street festival, I go for the sausage and peppers all the time. We are coming up on, I think this is Berkeley Street over here. Yeah, it's Berkeley Street. Got some music coming out of here. It looks like a good turnout. It's gonna get much crowded later on. Like I said, it is lunchtime now. It's around 12 o'clock, so you're gonna have a lot more people showing up. All right, I'm gonna get stuck here, guys. Hold on 1 second. All right, stop and go.
Started.
Now you guys saw that little kid on a scooter almost took out 2 girls. It's a Grove Street. And we're still going. There's still plenty of street festival to go, guys. And then eventually we will be back to some open streets before we finish. You guys didn't see, but a little kid just ran me over with a stroller. I'm gonna sue. It's only a joke. I'm not gonna sue the kid. These are the things that happen when you walk through street festivals. St. John's. So that is where I was going. Just so you, little back info. That was what I was going to say, that this was going to end at St. John's. But I would have been wrong. So there you go. At least I admit to my inner thoughts. I could have kept my mouth shut and not told you that, but I thought this was going to stop over at St. John's. Obviously, that is not the case. Still got, looks like we got about 2 or 3 more blocks of this. Now, I just noticed we are running over an hour now. Generally, I would be ending these walks at about 1 hour and 48, but because I am walking slow at this point, it's not going to be the case. Now, the first part of the walk, I walked really fast, so maybe we will. Maybe I made up a time on that end, but we'll see. We're getting close to the Barclays Center. This is it. This is around the end almost. 2 more blocks. Well, guys, say that I am wrong, because this thing looks like it goes all the way over to Atlantic Avenue. Wow. I know some of you might say, why does he seem surprised? Well, we do these every year, and I don't ever remember the Fifth Avenue Festival going all the way to Atlantic, ever. Oh, we got some classic cars. We got a nice taxi driver-esque taxi. You could just picture Robert De Niro in that taxi. Beautiful Camaro. Look at that, guys. And then look at this cab. Look at the rate. $1.10 on the first 1/9 of a mile. So look at that, guys. I got you food. I showed you some food. I showed you some magnets. Right? Some cool magnets, I guess. And some cars. This thing actually goes... Hold on, let me fix my camera. My new camera that likes to just track things, even though auto tracking has been turned off. But anyway, as I was saying, this thing goes all the way down to Atlantic. Look at that. We're going to start speeding it up now because I do have to end this. Look, that was close right there. Someone almost got by a car. I mean a bike. Car, bike. It don't matter if you get hit by a bike. It feels like you get hit by a car. Now, when we get onto Atlantic, we're going to walk up to 4th Avenue, which is a quick walk. It's 5th to 4th on Atlantic is not a long walk. We are going to get onto the sidewalks here. We've kind of seen enough now, so. For those of you that are still here or checking back in, I want to thank you for all tagging along on this long walk. We are going to hit 6 miles when we get to Atlantic, so we're going to go a little over 6 miles. I'm going to walk to the train station. So it ends on Bergen Street. And they have a buffer zone. You know what? I actually do remember that. There was a buffer zone last year. So the festival itself doesn't go all the way to Atlantic, but there is a buffer zone here. All right, guys, we made it. We completed Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue comes to an end here at Flatbush in Atlantic. I should say Flatbush. I'm going to Atlantic Avenue. I should have mentioned that. That's where we're ending it. But Fifth Avenue ends right here at the Barclays Center. This is where you see the Brooklyn Nets and concerts and Liberty. We are finally going to end this walk, and I'm just going to go down into the train station, and I'm going to go all the way back to where I started. Hopefully the trains are running well, so I don't have to wait long. I'll just jump on any train that comes in. You know, whatever train comes in, I jump on. D train, N train, R train, it don't matter. I just want to get in that direction. This is Atlantic Avenue over here, guys. Right here. We were just down here recently. I feel like we've been down here a few times recently. Here we go, Atlantic Avenue. So we did a little bit over 6 miles of walking. I took you guys from 95th Street all the way down over 100 blocks. We went through Bay Ridge, Sunset Park, South Slope / Park Slope. Took you guys through the Fifth Avenue, what they call the fabulous Fifth Street Festival, and we're going to end it here on the corner of 4th and Atlantic. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. For those of you who missed my voice, you got plenty of it today. I'm probably going to take a break on the voice again and do some silent walking. We'll see. Pay attention. Just pay attention to what I do, I guess. Alright guys, this is it. 4th Avenue Atlantic. Take care and bye-bye.